The attacks on our bases and our troops by Iranian-supplied munitions have increased in the last few months, despite pledges by Iran to help stabilize the security situation in Iraq. I will take actions necessary to protect our troops. I have authorized our military commanders in Iraq to confront Tehran's murderous activities.
Story on the countdown, more saber rattling with different sabers tonight. Thus, with the publication of a new article by Seymour Hersh of the New Yorker magazine titled Shifting Targets. Mr. Hersh, who joins us presently, having long warned that the Bush administration has been seriously plotting for war with Iran, now reporting that the White House is changing the why. Instead of a broad bombing attack against the nuclear facilities of Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the administration now planning for surgical strikes against that country's Revolutionary Guard Corps, the same Revolutionary Guard Corps that last week 76 U.S. senators voted overwhelmingly to urge the State Department to declare a terrorist organization. As part of its sales pitch, Hersh reporting that the Bush administration is planning to say Bill Clinton did the same thing by conducting limited strikes in the 90s in Afghanistan, the Sudan, and Baghdad. Scared yet?
Iran, rumors of war? Question mark. There are forces in this country and in this world that are expending prodigious amounts of energy to ensure war with Iran. That's right. I said Iran. Many of those forces were the same ones that suckered the nation into Iraq with media megaphoned fear-mongering. Iran has become the feared boogeyman of the hour, the latest in the simplistic media projection of bad guy. And just as in Iraq, the media's demonization of the leader becomes reason to destroy, attack, bomb, occupy a nation. He's a bad guy. He's a ruthless dictator. Doesn't this sound familiar? Has the nation learned nothing from the Iraq debacle? Famed linguist and scholar Noam Chomsky, interviewed recently by radio host David Barsamian, gives a powerful example of the impact of media. Chomsky noted, take a classic example, Germany. Under the Weimar Republic, Germany was the most civilized country in the world, the leader in the sciences and the arts. Within 2 or 3 years, it had been turned into a country of raving maniacs by extensive propaganda, which, incidentally, was explicitly borrowed from Anglo-American commercial propaganda. And it worked. It frightened Germans. They thought they were defending themselves against the Jews, against the Bolsheviks. And you know what happened next. That's from the book Targeting Iran by David Barsamian. And speaking of brutal, ruthless dictators, the U.S.-backed Shah of Iran used his secret police, the Savak, to drench the earth with blood and terror. But he was cool to Americans. The U.S. Senate recently passed a non-binding resolution supporting the partition of Iraq. It makes a certain diabolical sense. The U.S. bombed it, invaded it, overthrew its government, and replaced it with puppets of their liking. All this not now being successful, why not shatter the nation into threes? This argument is now being made not by rabid neocons, but by so-called liberal Democrats. Why? Because imperialism is a truly bipartisan American project. The newest target may well be Iran, despite the fact that if Iran is indeed more influential today, it's because of the U.S. invasion, occupation, and near destruction of Iraq. Iran was strengthened by Iraq's fall. The U.S. has a Middle East policy driven by fear and ignorance. It is reactive, emotional, and driven by faith, not reason. Those are dangerous forces to justify war, and unworthy of a nation that considers itself a superpower. Super in power, but petty in reasoning. From death row, this is Mumia, Abu-Jamal. These commentaries are produced by Noel Hanrahan for Prison Radio.
They've been pitching this new idea of hitting the Revolutionary Guards, more limited, more surgical, more carefully drawn up, planned attack, and where, for example, the Brits, who were very hostile to the idea of 1,000 points of lights, bombing all the heavy Air Force coming and bombing all the nuclear facilities, and it takes a lot of bombs, many of them are underground. The Brits are interested in this idea. There's been expressions of interest from Australia, other countries. The Israelis, of course, have gone bananas, so they're very upset about the idea of not going. If you're going to go into Iran, the Israeli position is very firm. They want us to go, and they want us to hit hard. You do not, as somebody, an Israeli told me, if you run into a lion, you either shoot it or ignore it. You don't pluck out its eyebrows. Going in and taking out the Revolutionary Guards and not taking out the nuclear facilities for the Israelis is a non-starter. But that's the plan. The plan is to be more surgical, more careful, and they're getting some of their allies on board.